It when
All right, everybody, sorry about that. This is part 2 of how to set up your nuke in your hive.
Okay, so what we've done is I've taken this box here and I gave it a good tap upside down. There was a little water in it like I suspected there would be, and that's okay because it's going to drain out of this hive. We've got a screen bottom board on here and it should be actually draining out pretty good. And come to think about it, I don't think there is a screen bottom on this, so we're going to need to change that out.
And what happened is why I needed to split it in half, guys. Sorry about that. A bee landed on my hand and I accidentally hit the pause button.
Do you have one
or stop, I guess. And so now we got part 2 going on here.
Wire in the bottom.
There was a problem with ants on this hive, so we made sure that we have cans of oil around the legs.
I'm going to step away to get these bottom.
Okay. Make sure that when you do your new nuke setup, you want to give it a gallon of sugar water mixture. And just slowly pour it, fill it up.
Yeah, it had a solid on it for winter.
What's inside of this?
This is
it's your essential oil mix?
1-to-1 sugar oil, and it has the essential oil mix that can be found on my Skiatook Bee Supply Facebook page. And it's got 3 different essential oils in it, and it really helps the bees. So I'm going to lift this up right quick, and we're going to switch out this bottom.
For a screen bottom board?
Yeah, I didn't think about it when I first started doing it. I was just using the hive setup that they had sitting here, but now I'm thinking about it. We really need this on. This will take care of 10% of the varroa mite problem.
Pull that back some.
And the essential oils will probably do the rest of the work there.
You got this piece of wood up here on this that needs to go back on, either down or on, forward or backwards. Okay, it needs to go forward.
Forward?
Yep. There you go, more and more, until this slides down off of it. There you
go. Okay, good.
Now it's all even.
It's always great to have help when you do this with.
Teamwork.
That's it. Teamwork is awesome. Okay, so trying to straighten it up a little bit. So now we got the bees over here. That's good. So we're not going to use this. This is what we use for winter time, this solid bottom. There was a little water in there, but that's okay. The bees will get it all dried out. You filled this up?
No.
Okay, well we're going to put
one. It was bending, so
okay.
It takes 2 hands.
Yeah, I was reutilizing a bottle. I'm really big on utilizing things, and this was a good clean water bottle. So I put the essential oils and the sugar water in it so that we could feed these bees, and I'd have exactly about a gallon. This feeder here holds a gallon, and that's what we want. So once a week we're going to come back in and fill this back up with I get another gallon of sugar water, and that will help them grow. Now, one of the other things that we're going to be doing is we're going to put on some hive beetle traps, and I think that
right here behind you.
Are they right behind me? They are right behind me. Okay. So I like the hive beetle traps. So one thing, these hives are in the shade a little bit. That can be problematic. But we're going to try to combat that by using our hive beetle bait oil and these little traps.
And where can we get that bait oil? Do you have that on your website?
I do. Well, I don't have a website. I do have a Facebook page, and you can contact me through it and get some of it. It works pretty good. And I don't like to pour it over the hive. I like to pour it away. Does
your store ship?
We do ship.
Oh, you're spilling your oil everywhere.
Oh, I am. Here, can you hold that with one hand? I got too much in my hands.
I see that.
Down there. Okay, well, I got enough in there, this one. So I'm going to knock all this extra oil off that I got on there. And I'm going to put the lid down here. A little tiny lid. Okay. I'm going to find my hive tool. And we're going to scrape just a little bit of this wax out here. Just enough to be able to fit this in. Just like that. So we want those hive beetle traps to help keep hive beetles give the hive beetles a place to run and hide, and it helps get rid of some of them in the hive. So this hive does not have a California bottom on, or it does, but it doesn't have a tray. And so we're kind of working a little bit in the dark on that today, but we'll get that tray in as soon as we can back into this colony. Just clean some of these off just enough we can get in here. I always like to have one on one side and one on the other. That gives, because the beetles tend to you know, work away from the middle where the bees are. So we try to keep this upright, slide this down in there. I always run my finger over it to make sure there's no extra oil on top so that the bees would get into that. So this hive is ready really to go ahead, close up. We're going to want them to have 2 or 3 weeks to really start filling out the rest of these combs, and then we'll come in and we're going to add a new box, deep box. We're going to bring the feeder up and add new frames up top and checkerboard those in. So this gives them a chance to really take off and start growing well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put our equipment back on. This is what we have, our inner cover, that's what we're using here today. There was, I think, Dutch said something about a ant infestation. So we've got most of those ants all off and everything, so that's going to make a big difference and keep them out of the hive so that they have a chance to really flourish and do well. And one of the other things that we need to make sure that we're watching is when you put your entrance reducer in, you want to have it on the smallest setting. Okay, so this has got a really small setting, and that's what we want. So we're going to kind of lift up here and get that set up in there so it reduces where the bees can come and go here. And that one fits a little tight, but we got it in there, and that's what's important. So this hive's looking really good. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put a heavy brick on top because we don't want Oklahoma winds blowing this hive around. And so this hive will need to be checked in a week. We'll need to put more food in it, and I think it's going to grow really well. So I'm really pleased with this one.
Okay guys, like, subscribe, until next time.
We'll see you then.